Everyone tells you AI automation will save money, but your API bills just tripled. Here's what they're not telling you about the real cost of scaling AI and how to cut it in half starting today. Hey everyone, I'm Mohammed Yoli, founder of MDigitalDev. Today we're diving into something that's keeping business owners up at night, the Tokenpocalypse. Your AI costs are spiraling out of control, and nobody's talking about the simple fixes that actually work. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to slash your token expenses without sacrificing any functionality. Let's go. Let me paint a picture. You launch an AI automation, a chatbot, a document processor, whatever. Month 1, $200 bill. Month 3, you're at $1,400. Month 6, $8,000. Sound familiar? You're not crazy. This is happening everywhere. According to TechCrunch's 2026 investigation titled, "Is This the Dawn of the Tokenpocalypse?" Companies scaling AI automation are seeing API costs increase by 300 to 500% within the first half year of deployment. One agency we worked with, I can't name them, but they're in the finance space, went from a $5,000 monthly bill to $28,000 in just 8 months. Same automation, same output, but the costs? Skyrocketing. Here's why. Every single request to an AI model costs money. Every token, and I mean every token, is counted and charged. You're paying for input tokens, output tokens, and most people don't even realize they're wasting tokens on stuff that doesn't need to be recalculated every single time. The scary part? Most businesses have no idea where their money's going. They see the bill, panic, and then either abandon AI entirely or start cutting corners that hurt their results. There's a third option, and that's what we're talking about today. Let me break down the 3 biggest cost killers in AI automation right now. First, redundant processing. You're sending the same context to the API over and over. Imagine you have a 50,000 token document that you reference 100 times a day. That's 5 million tokens just rehashing the same information. Every single day. Over a month, you're burning 150 million tokens on duplicate work. Second, inefficient prompting. Most people write prompts like they're texting a friend. Long, rambling, full of unnecessary examples. OpenAI's pricing is roughly 50 cents per million input tokens for GPT-4. A bloated 2,000 token prompt instead of a tight 400 token prompt means you're overpaying by 4x on every single request. If you run 1,000 requests daily, that's an extra $60 a day, $1,800 a month, $21,600 a year on one optimization. Third, no batching strategy. You're making requests one by one when you could batch them. Most API providers charge the same per token rate whether you're making one request or 1,000. If you're processing customer feedback one ticket at a time instead of in batches of 100, you're leaving money on the table and also adding unnecessary latency. At MDigitalDev, we audit these 3 areas first when clients come to us stressed about costs. 90% of the time, we find 40 to 50% waste within the first week. Now here's the move that actually cuts costs in half: prompt caching. Prompt caching is a feature that most AI companies have rolled out in 2024 to 2025, but almost nobody is using it. Here's how it works. Instead of sending the same context every single time, you cache it. The API remembers it. You only pay for it once. Let me give you a concrete example. Say you're building a customer support bot that references a 100-page product manual. Without caching, every customer message costs you 25,000 tokens, the manual, plus whatever the actual question is. 500 support tickets per day times 25,000 cache tokens equals 12.5 million tokens per day. At 50 cents per million input tokens, that's $6.25 per day just on context. $187.50 per month. $2,250 per year. With prompt caching enabled, you pay for those 25,000 tokens exactly once. Then the next 499 requests? Pennies. OpenAI's pricing on cached tokens is 90% cheaper. Literally 5 cents per million for cached input tokens. Same math, 500 requests, but now 499 of them use cached context. You're paying $6.25 once, then tiny fractions on the rest. Your monthly cost drops from $187.50 to under $20. That's a 90% reduction on that specific piece. Scale that across your entire operation, multiple bots, multiple manuals, multiple workflows, and you're easily looking at 30 to 50% cost reduction company-wide. The catch? You have to set it up intentionally. It doesn't happen automatically. You need to identify which pieces of context are static, product docs, company guidelines, training data, and which are dynamic, user input, real-time data. Then you structure your prompts to cache the static stuff. You don't need to wait for next quarter's budget review. You can start cutting costs this week. Action 1. Audit your prompts. Go through your top 10 most used AI workflows. Count the tokens. I use a simple tool called Tokenizer, available free from OpenAI, to paste in my prompts and see exactly what's eating budget. Find the bloat. Cut it. Action 2. Identify cacheable content. What's the same across 90% of your requests? Product manuals? Company policies? Customer data structures? Write those down. That's your caching target. Action 3. Implement batching for non-urgent work. If you're processing feedback, analyzing documents, or generating reports, batch them. Instead of one by one, group 50 to 100 together. Same cost per token, but better throughput. Action 4. Switch to a cheaper model where it makes sense. Not everything needs GPT-4. A lot of tasks work fine with GPT 3.5 or Claude's cheaper tier. GPT 3.5 is roughly 80% cheaper than GPT 4 for input tokens. At MDigitalDev, we actually build these optimizations into our automation workflows from day one. It's not an afterthought. It's baked into our process because we know cost efficiency is how our clients actually scale. If you implement just actions 1 and 2 this week, I'd be genuinely surprised if you didn't see a 20 to 30% cost drop by next month. Here's what gets missed in this conversation. Cheaper isn't always better. You want cost efficient, not cheap. If you cut costs by 50% but your automation breaks, you've solved nothing. The goal is to cut waste while maintaining output quality. That's the real optimization. The businesses winning right now are the ones treating token costs like they'd treat any other operational expense, with a budget, with monitoring, with optimization cycles. Not set and forget. Not panic cutting. Smart, intentional cuts. Token costs aren't going down. If anything, they'll keep creeping up as more people use these tools. The competitive advantage goes to whoever figures out how to be efficient first. Here's what I want you to do right now. Part A. Comment below and tell me, what's your biggest pain point with AI costs right now? Are you seeing that 3-5x increase we talked about? What automation is eating your budget? Let's talk about it in the comments. Part B. Subscribe so you don't miss next week's breakdown of why cheaper AI models are actually beating expensive ones in 2026. That's the follow-up to this video, and it's crucial if you want to dial in your stack. Part C. If you're serious about fixing your AI costs and you want a custom audit for your specific workflows, head over to MDigitalDev.com. We've helped dozens of businesses cut their token costs while scaling automation. Let's see if we can do the same for you. Next week, we're breaking down why cheaper AI models are actually outperforming expensive ones. It's not what you'd expect. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Catch you in the next one.